Alright, Tankers and Gamers, it's time for another first match gameplay, and it is of this Season Pass tank, the M-636 Kondor, a Yugoslavian tank, which kind of looks like the Yugoslavians took a T-34 Russian tank and pounded out the inside with some sledgehammers to make some more room, and then had some Russians yelling at them, "Now too big, too big." That was not a Russian accent. Whatever. Meanwhile, the Yugoslavian soldiers are in there waving their hands over their head, between their head and top of the bulks, and everything's like, look, head clearance. Like they're doing a review for the third row in a mid-size SUV. But, and fortunately, the Russians were kind of right. Because this tank is, well, it's another balanced Era 1 tank. There seems to be a lot of those for premium season pass tanks, like the T95E2 and the Chinese WZ111. So balanced, in fact, that they're almost useless unless you are both skilled and also have a fully upgraded commander. A comparison will be coming in the future of featuring the M636 versus the T95E2. They're both 90mm cannon gun, they're tanks, and they're medium tanks that are, yeah, they're not loved. The M636 is not going to be a loved tank because it has a lot of flaws, and these flaws will be lessened. They're still going to be there even if you have a fully upgraded commander. This is a tank that, just from what I could see, and with 16,000 battles plus under my belt, and listening to other reviews from even more skilled and more competent content creators, it was painfully obvious. I was like, this is definitely not going to be an assault tank, even though I did put some of the armor equipment on. The way I'm going to play this tank is an absolute support tank. The reason I didn't put any of engine or the increased track speed or anything like that is just because I don't want to be rushing ahead, although that could help, especially when you're being circled of death by a light tank. But the only reason I went with the premium consumable for the engine is just to have faster turret speed. Realistically, this tank, from an armor profile, the turret may have some auto ricochets, but you're such a fat body, you're tall, you're wide. If you played the TVP-88 and you hate it, yeah, this is like a premium version of that. There is nothing that screams, I will survive, okay? So in my mind, I would preferably like to play this at the midline or from the rear. The downside is, and this is where having a fully upgraded commander comes in, is the accuracy of this gun is barely even adequate. You'll see that in the gameplay to come. So this is all about, for me, is it's one of those things like, how do this? Well, it's going to be gun handling and sort of support, and that's, I put on camo because I want to play this tank from a distance, even though that means I'm going to be missing shots, but getting up close and personal means everything's going to tear me to pieces. So I put camo on, so the farther away I am from the enemy, even if they zoom in, I try to break up the lines of my tank so it's hard to see. This is not a really good tank. I'll learn to love it like I learned to love the TVP-88 and the T95E2, although that has the siege mode, which kind of makes it interesting, and that does have some turret armor. This tank doesn't have much of that. And if you like this form where I explain to you my mindset prior to the first match of how I set up the tank and let you see me set up the tank in Commander, like and subscribe. Here we are on Airfield, which disappoints me. This is a bit of a tricky map if you don't play it. I will say this. The M-636 has an ass. Like, I don't usually notice. Sometimes you notice the rear end of a tank, but this tank, like, it's got an ass that you can just, like, if it were a person, you could just, like, you'd be from behind, you put a little, like, cowboy hat on their head, and then you'd just be like, hold on. Get ready for the rodeo. It's that kind of ass. That's just me. Anyway, I'm now fleeing, going to the airfield because no one's going that way. I think that's kind of telling that my team, newbies, World War II elitists, just wanted to make silver and not really care to play to their full potential. So I come back this way because, well, this means this is one of those things where it's like, all right, where's the bigger tank? I will support them. And here I am testing out the base accuracy of the gun, or I should say boom snout. And the boom snout is all right, we gotta call it out. When it comes to 90mm boom snouts in Air 1, NM116. Get it. If you don't got it, get it. If you're gonna keep playing this game, get the NM116. It is a great tank destroyer. The 90mm boom snout on the thing is amazing, and all others pale in comparison. It has the concealability of a TD. Look, it's accurate. See, it is accurate enough to hit the broadside of a tank, but it's a 90mm, so the damage you do is sad. God, I love 105s. Hell, at least the TVP-88 starts out with a 100mm boom snout, and that's nice. Almost as inaccurate, too. So, yeah, I was prepared going into this. So, yeah, NM116. It beats them all. But anyway, back to the Fat Penguin, or, Cartman, if you look at it just right. I mean, if you're a Whovian, you can say it's Squishdolic, a fat Squishdolic. So I'm over here safe because I can pull back, and the incline will protect me from any fire coming across. And also, there's an FE 4005. Like I said, this is a tank where I feel more comfortable with having a bigger tank to support it. I track, they do damage. I track again. Maybe they've reloaded, they haven't. They do more damage. I might get a few damaging shots in there because the reload is good. 90mm boom snouts reload very well, so that's one of the things, like, get that down, get the gun to be aimed in when I come to stop. As you can see here, I'm going up against a T95E3, so I'm shooting it from the front is utterly pointless. So I go for tracking shots and hope for the best. And we're losing. Yay. Our base is being captured. So now I try to hit the broadside of a tank, and meh. I desperately try for some funky angle here, and that goes nowhere. But this was all about confirming kind of what I already knew. And thanks, Wargaming, for once again putting in another balanced Aero 1 tank. Can we get a premium light tank for Aero 1, please? Please? So, I feel that my end is nigh, and thankfully the FE 4005 has pop smoke, so I can run in. Holy crap, an NM116. Didn't expect that. So, I feel I can do some good, I can help. And see, that's the dynamic you want to do with this tank. I swear, when you don't have armor, you don't have speed, and your boom snout barely works, this is what you do. So, yeah, all of the things you've heard about this tank are true. And if anyone says it's a great tank, they have no idea how great of a tanker they are or how stupid they are. And I hope the RNG is in your favor. Keep your treads on the ground. And I'll see you in the next one, which will that first match raid is going to be a lot more fun. Yeah. I hope to see you there. Have a good one.